Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zarkath, and here with me is my fellow broadcaster, Swives.
Hello.
Sadly, Swives does not have video capabilities today, but we look forward to his wonderful commentary and input. So today we are broadcasting the seventh tournament, right, in the Warrior Esports series. We have a field of 11 teams today, and we look forward to getting it started and talking different strategies and things that each team is doing.
So what do you expect to see today, Preston?
Uh, a lot of teams that we've been watching in the LCS have started going back to a more standard type of play, with less of the lane swaps due to the tower buffs on top and bottom, as well as emphasizing control teams rather than individual pick comps or you know assassin comps that we saw really early and late in season three with TSM and Dignitas using those assassins. So what I expect to see today is a lot more controlled jungle play, playing a lot more out of the jungle and the mid player roaming with the jungle rather than the jungle focusing on ganking mid. I think that's what's going to be the common theme throughout the day, and I look forward to seeing how each different team emphasizes their certain team comps. What about you?
I think I think you're perfectly right, and I also think that vision control and support roaming is going to play a really big part in all the games.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of increased support play, especially with Afromu on CLG, just absolutely dominating people with the roaming support. I also think that increased roaming support is something that is going to happen with the natural power changes to support, and I think that with these power changes to support, obviously you said it, supports are becoming more powerful, as well as supports are becoming more impactful with roaming vision and roaming pressure.
Of course. And what I've noticed, especially with TSM with their new roster swap with Amazing and Glebe, I've noticed that Glebe is roaming around Dragon when Wild Turtle and Glebe have the standard 2v2 in the bot lane. He likes to roam around red side jungle and Dragon a lot, start with a sweeper, and spend almost all his money on ward control around that area, which Amazing then uses to either further ahead Bjergsen, which is TSM's huge carry, or just to secure bot lane 2v2s without the pressure of Dexter from CLG or whoever they're facing.
Yeah, I think that the support changes are huge. I think that vision control, now that it can't just come straight from support, it has to come from the whole team with the word limitations on individuals. I think that's going to be a big thing. Um, I just think that there's so many elements of the game right now that are variable. You can't really see how everything is panning out because each team is winning with a different kind of setup, and each team seems to not have one type of game that they're winning. It's just everyone has different styles, and everyone's using those styles effectively. So the diversity that's coming out of this game right now, with the increased support power, the different ways to play jungle. You have your early pressure jungles, and you have your Feral Flare late scaling junglers, as well as the growth of AP Kales, control-oriented mid laners rather than those assassin-oriented mid laners. I just think there's so many diverse ways that individual teams can play that we're going to run into. We're not going to know what any team's going to do until we actually get into the Champions League.
That makes sense. And also, I think what's going to play a big part in the games today is the item changes, specifically Bloodthirster, how it's more expensive and it's been changed a little. I feel that AD carries are either going to be rushing Infinity Edge or more utility-based items like Triforce, for example, opposed to Bloodthirster for the outright damage.
I think the changes to Bloodthirster may have scaled back early game AD carries a little bit. such a solution that once they get that Bloodthirster, they just become so far above every other AD carry. But I also think that Bloodthirster is still an incredibly useful tool for AD carries. I think that a lot of people are becoming scared of Bloodthirster for whatever reason. But I really wanted to focus on as well as the Bloodthirster changes are the Nidalee changes. You know,
Yes, Nidalee
what do you
changes are
find about
huge.
this? Yeah.
Um, well, old Nidalee, once she hit 6, she could just duel you straight out of lane. I mean, especially if she had a level advantage and she hit Cougar, she could bully you straight out of lane. Now that you're able to have Cougar at level 1, we could either see lane bully Nidalee, that, say you have a Nidalee Syndra lane. Syndra can try to bully out Nidalee, but I'd still pick Nidalee to beat Syndra out. Or we could see a more utility-based Nidalee almost burst, seeing as your pounce range is also increased when Hunted is on the target.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Nidalee changes made her skill cap higher, but her effectiveness also is just as much or not more higher than her skill cap raised. I think before you had a certain logic gate with Nidalee. It was throw spear, heal, throw spear. There was no variance in gameplay. You almost got punished for going into cat form.
And also,
Now,
it was incredibly predictable if you were playing Nidalee.
yeah, because you knew exactly everyone was going to do. You knew that you were going to lose lane early to try and dominate late with game-changing spears. Now it's more focused on when do I go in, when do I pounce, when do I attack, when are my advantages going. And so I think almost Bruiser Nidalee are going to be the more dominant form of this champion if we even see it.
I feel like top lane Nidalee is also a viable option, especially in the current meta. I mean, we're kind of switching off from the, rock tank top laners, which I mean, I enjoy. I like seeing top lane to branch out more. And also, I think the new Nidalee changes require more team communication to use it to its full effectiveness.
I agree. I agree completely. So, you asked me before what kind of team play that I thought we were going to see here. I mean, what kind of different styles do you think are going to be noticed?
Well, like you said, we're branching out from the uh, lane swaps where you have your 2v1 lanes, which are effective, but with the tower changes, they're kind of going down. I expect to see level 1 jungle invades and level 1 warding. I expect to see at least 2 sweepers just to clear it out. And if we don't see that, I expect standard 2v2 lanes just to duel it out, because like I said, the Bloodthirster changes, you lose a little bit of your early game potential, which is a big thing for the 2v1 lanes as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Bloodthirster changes are going to be very impactful. But I also think that we're going to see a lot of different AD carries. You know, before it was just the Lucians, the Twitches, the occasional Jinx. Now I think it's going to be more Vayne or, you know, I mean, I guess even more Jinx. Just more variety of AD carries that are going to exist.
Well, your immobile AD carries are definitely coming back into play. Misfortune, uh, Twitch is top tier. Basically, your AD carries that are utilizing their kit without a dash, they're becoming more viable. Just because the meta is shifting a lot again, and I do expect to see Misfortune come back into play, just because she is such a bruiser to the other AD carry as well. And if you couple MF with a aggressive support like Thresh or Sona or something, you know, you can rush hour their bot lane.
Yeah, it seems that we're waiting on the team captain for flawless victory now to start this game up for the stream. Would the team captain for flawless victory please message WES label out or accept your game invite? Either one. Um, so now that we got that out of the way, uh, is there anything that would surprise you to see? Maybe some old meta existentialism, if you will. You know, maybe some Zed coming out or some new top, things like that.
I would love to see old conventional support picks. I mean, Tarek, old supports like that. I'd be incredibly surprised to see it, but I'd love to see it. Nunu Jungle is one that's possible that I'd be surprised to see just because it's so support reliant.
Yeah, I think that as well as the new jungle, you know, we used to see a lot with the Cogmalls in the games because you basically just played support the Cogmall and defend the Cogmall all game, as well as with the new changes to Twitch. I think the new jungle is completely viable because of how much you help out your individual lanes.
Well, not only that, but Nunu can buy a Sightstone faster than any jungle champion in the game, which ties in directly to the vision control, which is such a big part. And also, Blood Boil helps your AD carries and less mobile champions incredibly, even into the late game. Nunu is just such a hard scaling champion in so many different ways. It's nice to see when it's pulled off correctly.
Yeah, a lot of jungles are now viable. Not only Nunu, but we've seen some jungle Aatrox in the Challenger series. We've seen some actually Rumble in the jungle. With his high AP damage, he was able to clear jungle camps really fast, and his ult's game changing. So I think a lot of the game now is so you can vary it so much, but so few people seem to try to try anything different rather than just do the status quo.
Well, I think that's one of the main problems because uh, I think that right now is a great time to flex your muscles that certain champions which you think might work, might mesh with your team comp, stuff like that. Take Jarvan for example, and he's a great champion, and his ult can be utilized in a lot of different ways. And I'm I wouldn't be surprised to see Jarvan in the top lane just because he can become a tank rock as well, but also become a bully that is able to lock down a champion, and especially with the teams, they'd be able to work together to utilize J4's ultimate.
Yeah, Jarvan has a very hit or miss ultimate. There are a lot of people that can hit his ultimate really well, and it will change the game. And there are a lot of people that can hurt their team with that ultimate. I think those ultimates are useful if you can do them right. So I would like to see a lot of teams staying away from those, you know, like Singed or Volibear. Things that, you know, like a flip seems useful unless your Singed flips the enemy team into you when you're about to die. Things like that. Um, that you might want to see teams stay away from altogether or choose less, such as the Jarvan ult. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I understand completely what you mean too. It's very hit and miss. But I do feel that if you could pull it out, it'd be a great asset to your team.
All right. It seems um, that one of our teams has not showed up to the tournament. So flawless. Wait a minute. Flawless victory might have just shown up in the last second available for them to. So we might get this stream started eventually, just as soon as we can.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe that.
all right. So management has told me that the first round is going to be um, what was it? Mo or AFK versus Dopasaurus Rex. Doopasaurus Rex. Um, so that's what we're going to see first. Flawless Victory, I think, is moving to a different slot, or have they forfeited? Okay, Flawless Victory is moving to a different spot, and we're going to see Mo or AFK versus Doopasaurus Rex. So we'll get that started up for you guys in just a second. Flawless Victory will move to a different slot. Um, so today, Mo or AFK seems to feature 5 diamond players, and Doopasaurus Rex has 2 silvers so far that I can see. What are you expecting to see from the different play styles between diamond and silver?
Well, I feel like Diamond is obviously going to be more methodical, more planned out, but that could also backfire on them since I've also known a bunch of silver teams to be extremely methodical and well thought out. So I think it's going to come down to mechanical skill and above all team play. I think that's going to be the main thing is team play, how they work together and to combat objectives, not just kills.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If if the silver team can seem to get past the lane phase without too much of a deficit, I think that's where a lot of their chances lie. I think that
Oh
if
yeah, I
they
think
can,
laning phase is going to
yeah,
kill the silver team. But if they can get out of it, they have a shot.
yeah, I think that's where the real difference between diamond level and silver level is the lane phase rather than late game decision making. A lot of people seem to have the ability to team fight very well, um, but if they can get it out of lane phase, I think they have a shot. I think they have a real shot here.
I think it just comes down to mechanical skill and how well they understand their champions, and if they get their comfort picks.
Let's talk about something a little bit more important for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about how awesome my bow tie is.
I seem to recall you saying you had a more colorful one.
I do have a more colorful bow tie, but I want to get a feedback from our crowd here. Bow tie, is it a 9 out of 10 or is it a 10 out of 10? So I want to see some answers. I think it's a 10 out of 10, but we all have our own belief systems in life. So are you a fan of bow tie,
I
Swipes?
I love your bow tie. I think it looks absolutely amazing.
Okay, good. All right, we are now into Champion Select. Um, oh, I got an 11 out of 10 on the bow tie. Oh, I feel good about myself.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, way to go. My cologne is on point right now. I have some sweet cologne game, so got that going for me. We see a Timo ban. Was not expecting the Timo ban. Um, Not really a high level pick, but we do have Jax and Braum coming out, as well as a Soraka ban. The Soraka nerfs make Soraka not as great of a champion as she used to be. Um, oh, we
I don't
see
know
a
if that ban
Mordekaiser.
was.
No, wait, go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't think that Soraka ban was too incredibly important just because of the nurse, but you never know.
Well, it seems like our diamond team is banning so that they can have a higher pool of picks to choose from, rather than banning out champions that they would actually want to play. I also think that their confidence coming into this is affecting their bans a little bit.
Getting a little too cocky, underestimating.
Yeah, I mean, they're we see Ash hovered over for the first pick. Hasn't been locked in quite yet, so we will see if they actually lock this in. It looks like she's carrying Smite. We don't know the positions yet for each of these people, so what do you think of an early Ash jungle pick?
I think an early Ash pick is incredibly cocky, but I've seen Ash utilized to great success. So I mean, if they're confident in it, they're confident. I trust.
We see a Wukong pick up by um, Doopasaurus Rex. So that'll most likely be a jungle Wukong. Wukong has a hard time against most top laners because of his high mana cost, but if he can get blue buff and early snowball to 6, that's where we see a lot of the Wukong power coming from. And a Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is a great mid laner. We haven't seen him much in competitive play, but I think that he's a solid pick.
Also, I wonder if that could be a Vel'Koz support.
That's a good potential. Vel'Koz support has a lot of disruption that he can cause, a lot of true damage, so that he doesn't have to build damage necessarily. He can go a more supporty role. So that's a good thought. We see a Cho'Gath locked in for um, Mo or AFK, as well as a Ezreal being hovered over. That would be a odd pick, given that they already have Ashe, but it also could be AP Ezreal going into the mid lane.
That would definitely surprise me. But about that Cho'Gath, where do you think that's going? I assume top lane.
Well, my personal favorite way to play Cho'Gath is in the jungle. I think a lot of his jungle ganks, with his knock-up and his silence, can be very successful if you are proficient at hitting his knock-up. I also feel that his buff securing potential and Baron securing potential are amazing with his Feast Smite combo. So I would like to see Cho'Gath in the jungle, and he does have Smite on currently, so that might be where he ends up going.
Now, do you think he would run attack speed runes slash masteries since your Vorpal spikes?
Yeah, I think that's the number one way to play Cho'Gath in the jungle. You get the Vorpal spikes, excuse me, and you get the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, and that your true damage is increased, and your jungle clear time is incredibly fast after like level 4. So it's very beneficial for them to have that Cho'Gath for the objective securing as well as the tankiness that's coming out of that. We do see Blitzcrank and Lucian locked in. That's a very solid combo and kind of locks down Vel'Koz for the mid lane.
That also kind of surprised me, however, because Blitzcrank is such a uh, interesting support pick with Lucian because Lucian is a bursty AD carry, but can also carry out sustained damage with Light Slinger. And with his W nerfs, it seems early game, Blitzcrank Lucian would be at a disadvantage to a strong bot lane. Now with a Kate hover, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little confused with Mo or AFK. I feel like they're picking a very difficult comp to run. I don't exactly know what their intentions are. I would assume it would be Ashe support, Caitlyn AD carry, Ezreal mid. That's what I'm thinking right now. But it doesn't seem like a normal comp that we would see run. So this is one of those surprises that we were talking about with the variability of the current meta.
Also, I mean, they could be completely pulling it out of the blue, and this is a comp that they love running that they've practiced.
Yeah, maybe it's just a couple of niche picks, and these guys really are taking this as seriously as we think they should. I think that this could be a good team. You got to think Ash Arrow and the Cho'Gath pop up and the Renekton stun. They've got a ton of AOE damage up front. I think that they might have a good comp here going. We
I
see
wonder if they're
Fiora
going.
picked up.
Oh, that's surprising, but personally, I love Fiora. I think she can fill many niches.
Fiora is a difficult individual to stop once she builds her Ravenous Hydra. Um, Ravenous Hydra is one of the strongest items in the game, especially on Fiora, because her ult procs it every single time she dashes through. So the area of effect damage, especially with Wukong, Vel'Koz, and Blitzcrank on this team, is going to be really high. People forget that Blitzcrank's silence has a high AP scaling ratio and is really strong. So
Also, with that team, it seems like they're putting a very heavy emphasis on either pick comp or all in. And with Lucian, normally, since you're such a high tier 80 carry and you're able to do so much with that champion, you can be focused heavily. But with their team comp, it seems like Lucian will be possibly able to sit in the back line and get his light slinger passives off.
We'll see. This Mower AFK team doesn't have anyone that can really dive into the back line. They don't really have anyone that can penetrate the Wukong and Fiora um, up front um, line, as well as Blitzcrank and Vel'Koz being able to pick people off. I think that Mower AFK has really underestimated their opponent, and they picked a comp that's more based on what they feel their skill level is rather than for the actual tournament. So we'll see if they can outskill their opponent and see if what they can do against a really well thought out comp that we see coming in from Doopasaurus Rex.
Again, though, laning phase is the big thing that I think Doopasaurus Rex is going to be at a disadvantage, which I think Mo is counting on seeing with their picks.
Yeah, I think this lane advantage is going to be a large part of why um, these we see what got picked in Champion Select. I also think that if we can get past lane phase, even I see no reason why Dupasaurus Rex should feel that they're in any sort of disadvantage. I really think that their comp is that much stronger with a lot of area of effect damage that they can focus in a tunnel if they need to. So I look for this game to kind of go around a couple dragon fights, or maybe even a large baron fight that could happen and turn a game in each direction. But again, what we're focusing on here is the lane phase. And how do you see these lane matchups working out with support Ashe and Caitlyn?
Uh, well, support Ash is very slow heavy. I don't know if she's going to run an 80 carry build where she does damage as well, or if she's going to build like a support, like buy wards and coin, all that. If she does build with damage in mind and you have basically 280 carries, I think they can completely shove Dupasaurus Rex out just because I'm counting on Dupasaurus Rex has either never encountered that or isn't super prepared for it.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I would extend that more as well. If they go a double AD carry build or a triple AD carry build, I mean they could take down towers so fast that there isn't a chance for the other team to really respond to what's going on.
Well, with the team comp with the Ashe support, I think that the 2v1 lane swap is also a huge possibility, especially against Dupasaurus Rex, who is a lower elo team, and they might not have been, practiced on that 2v1 yet.
I agree. I agree completely. So now we're actually getting into the loading screen of the game. You can see my beautiful face there, all blown up. Another thing to note about these individual teams, no one has teleport. There isn't a global presence on this team, either teams, anywhere. We see both top laners with Ignite. What do you think about that?
Uh, that's quite interesting. I'm not a fan of top lane Ignite. I'd rather the flex supportive pick of teleport, but I mean, Fiora will certainly be able to duel top lane, and I think that's what they're counting on as well.
Uh, we actually see a revive on Jungle Wukong. Um, revive is not something that you see very often, or really ever in competitive play. It's
Don't
an
think I've ever seen it
interesting.
once.
That's an interesting pickup. Um, I will be very interested to see how this works out for our jungle Wukong here, especially since Wukong uses flash a lot to initiate. He'll flash in and dash, and then uses ult. So we'll see how this works out.
I'm supposing he's counting on his decoy and Nimbus Strike, but that's still very iffy.
Yes. Um, we'll see. I've never seen it before. I really the only place I see it is in ARAM or Dominion. Dominion has a lot of revives, so we really will. I'm interested to see how this works out. I think it can be viable, especially with like Baron defenses or anything like that.
Tower
Um,
defenses is going to be big.
Tower defenses, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, there's no telling how good each individual person will play, and I'm just excited to get into the game and see what's going on with each individual. Zeroville 811. I am not related to Louis C.K. Um, I can only hope to be as half as funny as he is, and I will try not to take offense to that.
I wonder if vision is going to be a big part of this game at all.
Um, it really will. You have two global visions with Ezreal and Ash, as well as supposedly a support player, and we have a bunch of diamonds in this team. So I think that vision will be paramount. I think that vision will allow this team to play the more opportunistic style they seem to want to play, and I really think that vision is going to be the most dominating factor of this game because one team supposedly will have more of it than the other.
I definitely count Mo as having the vision advantage in this game, just because uh, one, their picks seem to be a more mobile team, and just because of their elo, I'm supposing they value vision at a very high level.
Yeah, I think a lot of this game is going to come down to game knowledge, map awareness, and lane advantages. It's really, I guess that's really the whole game, to be honest with you. Um, uh, all right, now we are into the game. Um, let's see what item builds everyone goes with. We do have an AP Ezreal. AP Ezreal coming out.
That's
So
always surprising to see. I love AP Israel.
I think that it is something that can be done very well. Once he gets his cooldowns going, he is a very obnoxious person to deal with, and I think that at this skill level that these gentlemen seem to possess, I think that that's going to be a very real possibility that he's going to be just a really hard person to deal with.
I feel like AP Ezreal can bully out Vel'Koz in lane a lot harder.
Why?
Well, because Vel'Koz is very reliant on skill chains to set off his passive, whereas Ezreal is a lot more slippery and is able to, I think, put out more damage in certain situations than Vel'Koz. However, if Vel'Koz lands a ability chain, I think Ezreal, is going to get 100 to 0'd pretty easily.
I can see that. I can see that very well. Kind of go on with what you think's going on with this early jungle warding and where each individual team's starting.
Well, we see the blue team just grouped around red, which is a pretty standard start. That that red vision ward right there. Sadly, it's not in the bush, but it's also a very nice placement, and it's a trinket ward, so no gold wasted or anything. We do see Blitzcrank start coin and ward, so I wonder if he's going to place that aggressively or if that's just for lane moving.
I think the assumption would be that it would be lane warding. We see a very standard start by each team. You had mentioned that you thought a lane swap with that Ashe would be preferable to standard lanes. So how do you think that this bot lane is going to play out now that you have a support versus 280 carries?
I think that the Ashe lane, I think they're underestimating the Lucian Blitzcrank, but I mean, if they play it correctly, I think they should easily be able to deny Lucian farm and dodge Blitzcrank hooks. I mean, if you dodge the Blitzcrank hook, their bot lane pressure is almost non-existent until later levels, which you can build a tremendous lead off of.
Another thing we see mid lane here is that Israel can stand in the minions and still manage to hit Vel'Koz because of how his W works. But Vel'Koz is not going to be able to hit Ezreal if he keeps that positioning. Oh, we see
We have
Cho'Gath
Cho'Gath invading Wukong's red, just gonna push him out.
Oh, they're
deny him.
fighting. Good cutoff
Wukong.
there by Renekton.
Oh, Fiora's coming down. They might be able to kill it.
Oh,
Oh, nice cutoff by Renekton.
so Vel'Koz there tried to come up river and help his teammates and got punished by getting caught in bad position.
I think that was just superior lane awareness by Israel. Also, Vel'Koz probably underestimating or not expecting it.
We see an early tower dive here, and they get 2 kills out of this tower dive. 2 for 1. Great tower dive there.
Yeah, just a great trade. They understood their champions amazingly, and they understood what they could do. Just pretty textbook, pretty nice play.
What do you feel like the strategy is going to be here coming back from this 3-1 start? Is it going to be more of a farm-oriented style or what?
I definitely see the farm being the big part. I don't think they're going to try to fight blue team. I think they're just going to try to farm up, get their items, and then go towards team fight phase, which could definitely hurt them, seeing as aggressive as Ezreal and Renekton are playing right now, which they should be. They have the advantage, and they're pressing it very well.
Yeah, this Lucian actually seems to be farming up really well. He doesn't seem to be taking the pressure too hard. But there is a lot of harass coming in from his team. And we see Ashe going in on Blitzcrank and Lucian coming in too far and getting harassed out by Caitlyn. And a fight up here with Renekton standing in minions, as well as Fiora getting a counterattack off.
Also, Blitzcrank is Lucian is running barriers, so he has no heal, so no lane sustain except for his Doran's spell.
Oh! Ashe gets grabbed in! Lucian just used all of his spells, he's so low. Can this be a kill? No. Lucian flashes out, dashes his way. This is getting Blitzcrank very low. One more auto attack. Oh, they don't get it. Wukong is invading Cho'Gath's jungle. Cho'Gath hits a pop-up. Wukong thinks he can take him. Oh, and the Q takes out Lucian under tower. That's so impressive.
That was a very
Wukong
impressive
is
play.
now running away from Cho'Gath. There's nothing he can do. Wukong dies to Cho'Gath while invading. And now we see top lane. Renekton dashes and flashes in, does his Call of the Meek, and Fiora goes down. We now have a 6-1 advantage for the blue team.
This is just tremendous outplaying and understanding of the champions, and like we said, lane advantages and how well you press them. They're doing phenomenally.
It seems like our purple team here is really trying to do the rotations, but they just keep getting caught out of position and in bad ways. We saw Cho'Gath there. He was fighting that Wukong in the jungle the whole time, and Wukong thought he could take him, but in the end, Cho'Gath was just too much.
I mean, I don't know if it's unfamiliarity with the champion, but Wukong just seemed like he was overconfident. He just got outclassed.
And Ezreal just bursts down. Oh, we got another Cho'Gath Wukong fight. We'll see if the red buff can swing this. Oh! And the Wukong won! Cho'Gath pulled off his auto attacks because Wukong went invisible. And we see Wukong pulling off the upset victory there, even through Cho'Gath's pop-up. And Ezreal tried to rotate down, was not able to get there in time. But he seems to be cutting off Lucian. He's in between Lucian and Blitzcrank. Let's see how this works out for him. Blitzcrank flashes, misses the grab. Still might get a kill coming out here from Lucian. Oh no! He flashes away at the last second. He was able to escape. No more auto attacks coming out from Lucian, and now the chase is on with Caitlyn. Everyone seems to have made it out safely there. We got a 1-for-1 and a really exciting exchange right there. That was
nice stutter stepping by everyone, and just a nice lucky E from Ezreal there.
Yeah, there's
also,
a lane.
Caitlyn burned her heal.
Oh, Caitlyn burned heal? So now we have no summoner's bot as Ashe flashed exhausted and Caitlyn has flashed and used her heal. So we'll see how that goes with jungle pressure and this Wukong scaling up. We see Lucian coming in.
Caitlyn
we see a mid-fight. Cho'Gath's using this red buff to stick to Vel'Koz, but we see Wukong coming in. Ezreal thinks that he can come in here as well.
Ash fighting.
And
Just saying, Ash was pressuring Lucian out pretty well. Vel'Koz was way too far. Also, Wukong burned his ultimate there for seemingly no reason.
yeah, I agree. Vel'Koz seemed to be caught out of position there. Do you think he was trying to bait, or was it more of?
I think he was just unaware.
Yeah. So we see that theme a lot right now. Oh! Blitzcrank gets a grab. Lucian has no spells left again, but that was a great grab by Blitzcrank. Almost led to a Caitlyn death. We see Ezreal pushing really hard in the mid as well.
Also, with Renekton's itemization, I wonder if he's looking to just...
Uh-oh, here comes a gank. Wukong comes in, puts down the Q, the armor shred. Can he get another red buff proc? No. Renekton slices, he doesn't proc a minion, so he doesn't get the dice, but he still escapes the gank easily.
Nice plays. Understanding of ganks. But that's just... I think that's the prevailing thing about this game right now is... Mo is just... They understand their champions and lanes so much better than... Red team.
Yeah, I think Doopasaurus Rex is having some issues coming out of this lane phase. They're just not able to put as much pressure down based on lane mechanics. But again, if we can get out of this lane phase without too big of a deficit, the team comp might be able to carry them through just because of how they picked versus how Mo or AFK picked. I mean, you know, you can always hit a blitz grab. Oh, we see another gank coming in here by Wukong. Wukong clones in. He's on to Caitlyn. He ults. Oh, we have Lucian coming in, getting ulted by Ashe. Now Ashe is the focus. Ashe is half health. We have Lucian running in. Lucian lands his W. He has a double proc. Vel'Koz is going to get a kill onto Ezreal with an ignite, and Wukong takes down Ashe. We have a kill in the bot lane and a kill in the mid lane for a purple team. We might see an equalizing here. That caught him up to 1,000 gold. They have another 1,000 gold now.
That was tremendous play. Also very surprising. Unfortunately, Vel'Koz had to die as well, though.
Yeah, the Vel'Koz actually died to Cho'Gath before he could get the ignite ticks on the Ezreal, but he still got the shutdown gold, and we saw Wukong doing a nice gank. But we see
and Fiora is so starved on gold right now. She's running with a longsword and 2 regen pendants to the Cutlass and double Dorans of Renekton.
Yeah,
Also,
experience discrepancy as well. Every time Fiora's getting close to the minions, Renekton's just coming in and pushing her right back.
it seems like she's not farming double golems as well. I think that she's just waiting for jungle help is what I'm suspecting. Also, we see Cho'Gath steal Wukong's red buff.
I don't know if jungle help's going to come. Jungle seems to be focusing most of his ganking efforts here on the bot lane. And really, there might not be really much point to gank Renekton at this particular juncture. I don't know if anything would come of that.
Oh, I don't think so either. I think Renekton is incredibly far ahead. I just don't understand where Fiora is thinking right now.
We see that Renekton's able to literally bully her under her tower, and there's nothing that Fiora seems to be able to do about it. She tries to go in, flashes out, gets ignited, might die from this ignite, dies from the ignite. Renekton's just so dominant in this lane right now, takes 2 unnecessary tower hits, and is still able to live.
She also burned her ultimate and wasn't even able to
Oh, Astro's coming to the mid lane, but it manages to hit Wukong in the jungle. That wasn't its intended target, but that was still impressive. Ezreal's still beating down that mid tower. Not much happening there.
Also, mid lane CS discrepancy in the favor of Ezreal.
Yeah, and that's something that we thought we would see with the mobility of Ezreal pushing out the immobility of Vel'Koz. The inability to hit skill shots in that lane is going to come back to haunt him really a lot.
It just seems like Mo or AFK is...
Oh! We see Vel'Koz just turn around and melt Ezreal with a laser to the face, and then Caitlyn hits another valid Q on Lucian. We see this might be a death for Ashe, but she gets away, so she has a lot armor, and Caitlyn Qs, headshots, and gets another auto attack off on Blitzcrank to secure a kill underneath the tower. That was great play by this bot lane.
This bot lane knows exactly what they're doing with this comp.
But this Vel'Koz has also seemed to have turned it around with that skill shot combo. And Cho'Gath is again soloing Dragon. Going to pick up some extra gold for his team as well as getting a tower.
It's a fairly early Dragon, so it shouldn't be too game crushing, but still, gold is gold, and 11-5 is a 5k gold deficit. It's pretty big.
We're actually getting into a 7k gold deficit at this point with that tower, those kills, and that dragon. So
Yes,
what we had talked about being a big differential for this team, making it out of lane phase, and then maybe having a chance to use their superior team comp, it doesn't seem to be really working out for them. It doesn't seem like they have the confidence. And we see an arrow hitting top. Renekton just melts Fiora. Basically 2 hits, just completely destroyed her once that arrow hit. That was an amazing play.
It doesn't seem like Fiora is itemizing against Renekton's damage as well. She's building straight damage with 26 CS. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do.
This play from Mo or AFK, they seem to have a little sloppy play earlier, but now they've really picked it up. And their team coordination and just skill level dominance is becoming wildly apparent as this game goes on.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're so mechanically skilled, but they also can counter the other's mechanical skills. It's nice to see.
Ezreal takes on 3 and almost gets 1 with his ult and skill shots. Oh, we see Vel'Koz going in again for Ezreal. The laser comes out. Vel'Koz gets another kill on the Ezreal. This Ezreal keeps coming in overconfident, keeps trying to initiate on Vel'Koz, and Vel'Koz is using his laser combo and his true damage to turn that right around on Ezreal every time.
This Vel'Koz is playing his matchup terrifically. That laser was on point.
Vel'Koz escapes a Cho'Gath gank with about 7 hit points, just absolutely knowing exactly how far he can go and escaping by the hair on his teeth.
Also,
really,
Cho'Gath burned Flash and Feast in that.
Yeah, well, Feast has a pretty short cooldown, but the Flash is definitely going to be a big element that we might see affect the game in just a few seconds.
We see bot tier 2 going down, just furthering Mo or AFK's gold lead.
And we also see bot lane freezing right now, and a lot of oh, Wukong gets Cho'Gath caught out in the jungle, but Cho'Gath might escape, and Vel'Koz shows up again for the clutch kill and the clutch crowd control. Oh, we see Blitzcrank going down here to a Caitlyn take aim. So he wasn't able to escape that particular jungle gank that they set up for a while. But we did see Vel'Koz picking up another kill. Vel'Koz is now 4-3. He has a valid chance with this area of effect team to carry this game in a late game, and this might be the answer that they needed for their particular comp.
Definitely. The only thing I find sketchy is Lucian's itemization. He isn't getting much stats. 17 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I don't know if Blade of the Ruin King is the best item to go for on Lucian. I think a lot more base AD is what a lot of people go. Yeah.
Even an Essence Reaver would have been better at this very moment because, he is so far behind, he needs stats over utility and chase potential.
Oh, we see a 2-man pop-up. Oh, and the Ezreal ult comes through, knocks all of them down to like 0 health. Cho'Gath's chasing, he doesn't have Feast, he hits a pop-up, he might get another auto attack. Blitzcrank pulls him away! Shouts him under tower. Oh, if we can get a Vel'Koz laser. Oh, Vel'Koz kills Cho'Gath! He goes down, it's a 1-for-1!
That was
Blitzcrank saved his teammate, popped him up, and was able to initiate Vel'Koz to get a kill onto their tank. Cho'Gath's Feast tanks are down to 2 now because of Vel'Koz's and Blitzcrank's great play. This Vel'Koz is carrying his team like very few people have been able to. This is amazing.
However, we see a 5-0 Caitlyn with an Infinity Edge on the back, also an Iceborne Gauntlet Ashe.
80 carries can only do so much damage unless they're not alive. You know what I'm saying? But Wukong goes in, ults for really what seemed to be no reason. There was no follow-up. Vel'Koz had about 30% life. That was a little bit of a bait by Wukong. That was a questionable play. I would have liked to see him wait for Lucian to get there. And Ezreal goes in, takes out Wukong. Ezreal might go down here. The calling comes out, barely misses him. Lucian flashes in and gets W'd in the face by Ezreal. They both go down. That was still a really great play by Ezreal. Took out 2 people with 1 life. That was an amazing play. And we see Ezreal 7-4, already has that Lich Bane completed. He might start to take over this game if he can get a few more kills.
Definitely. Also, Lucian burned Flash and Blade in that kill and still wasn't able to pick it up without dying himself. So, questionable mechanics.
If Lucian's culling had hit that last tick, it would have been a little bit of a different story. I think once that was over, he should have pulled off and oh, we see a gank coming in by Cho'Gath top. Fiora parried it away, dodged out the individual pop-up by Cho'Gath, and now she's going back in for a little bit more. Notices Cho'Gath is a little bit too tanky for her, even though he is machine gun Cho'Gath. And now we see a gank coming in on Vel'Koz, and he gets sniped out by the Ezreal Sonic Boom. We see a lot of Guile coming in, maybe Guile theme song playing.
It's
Ezreal,
just complete disregard.
We see a double turret dive here from Renekton and Cho'Gath, and they just decimate Fiora. There is nothing she can do. She does have a Tiamat completed, but now we see Renekton with a Giant's Belt, Orc, and 2 Doran's Blades to 1 Tiamat.
He is completely dominant in that lane. There's nothing she can do. I think.
The Wukong clone takes out the Caitlyn ace in the hole. We see an arrow coming in, hits Wukong! Ezreal flashes over the wall, takes down Blitzcrank. There is nothing they can do with this much pressure. They have so much damage coming on their face, and they don't seem to be able to dodge skill shots. This is an impressive showing. This is an impressive barrage of physical skill dominance, and we are just seeing exactly what a higher skill cap team can do to one who just can't make it out of laning phase properly.
Even Vel'Koz can't do much against this team at the moment. 22-9. It's ridiculous.
Wow, that was amazing. Fiora went in, didn't even get a chance to ult before Renekton took down all of her life. And Renekton's not known for being a high damage champion. So that is an impressive amount of lead that Renekton has, and he is pressuring out this. Oh, he goes in, he flashes and dashes! He kills out Lucian with 2 abilities from half health. This has just become a dominating performance, 25-9, 17,000 gold lead, 21 minutes into the game. I think it's pretty safe to say that this one's coming to a close.
Yeah.
We see an inhibitor push with nothing that the team can do. We do see Wukong coming in with Blitzcrank. Not a whole lot of damage there. Oh, the Australia's popped. Ezreal ults, misses, doesn't get the Wukong ult procced, and Blitzcrank walks right into Caitlyn to end his life.
Just dominant laning phase, transferred into mid-game, and then closing out a game. I mean, it's just tremendous.
Your ult coming in, I don't think there's going to be enough damage. Ashe kills her out. We see Caitlyn diving a tower at 22 minutes into the game. She has an Infinity Edge and the Zeal completed. She's just taking down towers, taking down champions, getting whatever she wants. Vel'Koz comes in, steps on a trap, disabling his ability to kill Ashe. Cho'Gath comes over the wall. Machine gun Cho'Gath is just doing too much damage. He was able to kill her with no trouble at all, and barely any assistance from his friends. That trap was very, very unfortunate for Vel'Koz's step. I don't know if Blitzcrank wants to take this on. Caitlyn does have an Infinity Edge completed, and he wisely walks away, and Caitlyn escapes that particular Blitzcrank gang.
Caitlyn still is yet to die this game, which is pretty impressive.
Blitzcrank seems to make that one happen. Not gonna happen. We see Ezreal coming in. His W just decimated 2 people with 1 ability. That is half-lifing people at this point. That is a very dangerous mega. Ashe Arrow hits Fiora. I think Ezreal's going to clean this one up. Oh, Fiora goes back in. Not necessarily the wisest move there. Ezreal is able to take down Lucian, and we see Vel'Koz trying to do what he can, and missing one spell too little to be able to take down that Ashe. But Ezreal is sticking around. I don't even know
that kill on Lucian was just
about that.
so
That was some dirty play there. That was amazing. And Machine Gun Cho'Gath just destroying turrets, destroying souls. Not much that Purple Team's going to be able to do to lock this one.
I'm surprised that I haven't seen an FF.
That is something that you can say about Doopasaurus Rex. They are certainly not giving up. And they take down Cho'Gath with a well-timed Wukong ult. It looks like Caitlyn might be able to clean up. Ezreal comes in, again almost completely one-shot someone. Renekton dives the tower. Caitlyn's able to get 2 kills there, and we might see a Vel'Koz coming in to kill up this Renekton. Depends on if the skill shots can hit, and if Vel'Koz has laser or not. He does have laser. All we need is... Oh! Renekton almost kills Vel'Koz with the back of his 1W skill shot, was able to clean up Renekton. We see Caitlyn getting an inhibitor for that Renekton kill, and she might be coming in for a kill on Vel'Koz. Hits the Q, Vel'Koz gets out with 13 life!
Wow.
This Vel'Koz is escaping by the hair of his chin. Arrow might come in and clean him up! Oh, wide left. Not a goal. Not a goal this game. We have seen a few goals coming in by Ezreal and Ashe, but that was not one of them. Lucian steps on the trap, probably trying to clear it out, so that Caitlyn doesn't get a free one. And just see some farming going on.
I mean, this laning phase transition has just been so well. It's extremely hard to see a comeback from Purple Team.
Yeah, we see the item builds just out of control on Mower AFK's side. We see Lich Bane, Rabadons, another needless
see a Ghost Blade on top laner Renekton. That's interesting.
I think Renekton knew that his victory was pretty much assured and decided to build damage to continue to snowball the game. So we see that he's just being able to clear out minions like you wouldn't believe. Very rarely do you get to see a damage Renekton, but they do a lot of damage when you see him. And we see Machine Gun Cho'Gath going down for Baron. He doesn't have the tankiness or the lifesteal required to pull that off, so he had to pull off Baron solo. But we do see an Ashe hero coming in for Fiora. Caitlyn's right there with red buff and Infinity Edge and takes it out in 3 shots! Wow, that was a lot of damage. There is just nothing Purple Team.
This is just ridiculous.
Rex goes in under 2 turrets with 3 people. We see people going down left and right. Kong ult's not able to stick on the Caitlyn. Renekton kills 2 people under a tower. Caitlyn gets a triple kill and Ezreal picks up 1 for himself. The GGs are coming out now. There is nothing that Purple Team's going to be able to do. They have 10 seconds before anyone's up. Machine Gun Cho'Gath and 380 carries are going to take out these towers. And
just an unfortunate loss in laning phase for Purple Team. They weren't able to come back from it, and they just got mechanically outplayed.
That was an impressive victory by the blue team.
And their bot lane.
That was great. That was a great win.
Their bot lane completely surprised me as well.
So we're going to take a quick break after that one as we get our next game set up, and we will see you all on the other side of that break. Enjoy.